So, as we already know, we're currently celebrating Sonic's 35th anniversary, to which, let's just say, many fans have stated what they think online. But considering this is Sonic's 35th anniversary, we are bound to see many new announcements in regards to games, possibly a remaster, a remake, and of course the new mainline game announcement. The game that many fans are saying could possibly get a remaster would be Sonic Unleashed, to which it may happen, but I just don't think it will anymore. But once again, you can never lose hope. In terms of remakes, we could possibly see a Heroes remake where it might make sense considering Sonic Movie 4 takes place next year in March, and it may tie in with the whole Metal Sonic and Amy stuff. And of course, the mainline game would be Sonic Frontiers 2, or whatever the next game will be. But I thought of a fun little idea, and this idea was actually made like a long time ago, it's just right now I'm getting into it. But although Iizuka has stated that he does not want to remake or remaster both Sonic Adventure games, they may not get remade but ported to next-gen consoles. Let me explain really quick. So the Nintendo Switch 2 has been out for around 9 months at this point, which is kinda crazy to think about. And as we already know, Nintendo has been having these online services that allow you to play N64, SNES, and older gen console games. But when the Switch 2 was revealed, they announced that the GameCube would be arriving on the console, and well, wouldn't you know it, both SA1 and SA2 were remastered for the GameCube, so it wouldn't surprise me if both those games were ported there. It would only be exclusive to the Switch 2. Which of course would suck a lot if you don't have a Switch 2, but once again, Xbox can play backwards compatible games, so I guess PlayStation would be the only one left out. But going back to both the adventure games, let's say there's an alternate universe out there where both these games got ported to the Switch 2. How exactly would they look? Considering both these games are like 25 years old, once again, time is going by so fast, that's crazy, it probably wouldn't need too much fine-tuning. Let's focus on the minimum requirements for both games and compare it to Steam. Now when looking at the minimum requirements for Steam, we can see that Sonic Adventure 1 would need a 2GB RAM and Windows XP to run it, and if we see how powerful the Switch 2 is, these requirements are nothing in comparison to the console, considering it has HDR10 support, can run games at 120 FPS, if I'm not mistaken, has 12GB of RAM, and you could even play games at 4K while docked and 1080p in handheld. All this right here just shows how powerful the Switch 2 is compared to Windows XP and how far we have come in terms of raw power and technology. So it would be safe to assume that you could play SA1 on your Switch 2 much better compared to Steam, although you would miss out on mods and other things available to you. So yes, SA1 gets an easy pass as it would run at a buttery smooth 1080p in handheld with either 60 or 120 FPS or even in 4K if you want it on your TV. Now going on to SA2, the game everyone wants to see on modern consoles. I think it's safe to say that this game would run just as flawlessly as SA1. Let's take a look at how much power or the minimum requirements for SA2 is on Steam. Here we can see that it would need Windows XP or Windows 7, to which once again that's easy money for Switch 2 as Windows 7 came out in 2009 and the Switch 2 is said to be as powerful, if not much more powerful than a base PS4. So comparing the Switch 2 wouldn't be necessary as the Switch 2 has enough power to run both of these games pretty flawlessly. Once again, this is a theory-based type of video where we could see these games be ported considering it is the 35th anniversary for Sonic and I'm sure Sega wants to take advantage of every little thing. Plus the fans have been begging for these games to be remastered or remade, so just porting them to the Switch 2 would make a lot of people happy, and not only would it benefit them, but also Nintendo, as more people who just love new gen consoles and Sonic a lot would be buying the console just to play these two beloved games. But what do you guys think? Could we see these two games be ported to Nintendo once again, or no? Feel free to let me know in the comments down below what do you guys think, and if you guys like this type of video, I do have another what if a specific Sonic game was on another console type of video in the works, so feel free to just let me know in the comments. But hey, once again, sorry for the sudden disappearance, but we back, so yeah, don't worry, I'll explain it in another video or something, I don't know. But hey, take care, stay safe, and peace.